Good evening, everybody. How are we tonight? Oh my gosh, this 9 o'clock time. It's not a good time for me. I'm ready for bed and I've had a really exasperating day today. And even now, I still can't go live on my laptop and I'm not used to talking into my phone. So bear with me. And I was going to ask the question about whether or not the postcard parenting session, whether or not it should be in the evening when you're a little bit more relaxed and the children have gone to bed. And even the angle of this camera is annoying me because I can't seem to do it horizontally. Anyhow, yes. Well, have you noticed Funny Bunny is wearing something different? He's wearing a crown, and I wonder if anybody can guess why he's wearing a crown. Yep, some of you are still on the ball. It was because he was watching the Queen. And I don't know about you, but I love it when the Queen speaks. I think she's a very wise lady, and I just love the way she lives out her faith. I think that's something that's really important to me as well. And she spoke words of reassurance, didn't she? And I think we do need calm voices at this time. And some of you may be feeling really anxious, but to know that you're loved and to feel secure is really important. And actually, that is the theme of our little chat tonight, about our third postcard in this series of 12 postcards. And it is, what do children really need? And it says they need to feel loved and to feel that they belong. They need to feel safe and secure. My gosh, don't we all need to feel that at this time? It's not just our children. We need to feel safe and secure. And it says, how do we help our children feel loved? And it says we give them undivided time and attention. Now, when we wrote this, we didn't expect us to be spending 24/7 with our children. And those of you with really young children, I remember, I used to love 7 o'clock at night when they went to bed. And I used to just sit down, and invariably I fell asleep on the settee because I was absolutely exhausted. But, it's full on, isn't it, being at home with your children full time? And that's why, we're there with our sessions to enable you to come with your children to play, and for you to just have a little bit of a sit back time and a little bit of a rest. We all need that, and just someone to help. But children do love having our time and our attention. And I always remember being on a parenting course once, and it said if you give your children 10 minutes of complete undivided attention, how it often just fills up their love bank, and they will often go away playing because they feel safe and they feel secure. And actually it's really funny because my 19-year-old has just gone upstairs to bed as I was having a discussion with her about this topic, about what do children really need. And we started to talk about love languages. And I don't know whether you've come across this book before, The 5 Love Languages. And this one's for adults, but they do them for teenagers, and they do them for children. And it's really fascinating. There are 5 love languages: gifts, touch, words, time, and acts of kindness. And they often say that your love language is your love language is what you try to give to your children, and or to your partner. And I know that my love language is acts of kindness, and that's what my daughter, we were chatting, and she goes, I know what your love language is, Mum, isn't it? It's acts of kindness and touch. And I thought, do you know what? It really is. And then I said, yes, and that's why it really annoys me when I ask you to do a little thing and you don't do it, like make a cup of tea or put the washing in, or, dare I say it, put a cup in the dishwasher. Oh, I did that last week. You know, it's just those little things, and if it's not there, it can be really irritating. And I think that can be true for our children as well. So it's really good to tune in to our children and what is it they love. Do they love that rough and tumble play, or do they like the words of affirmation? You're doing a really good job. I like the way you put your coat on. That there are different ways of acts of love and kindness that we can show for our children, but tuning into what our children really need is important. And it says, how do we make our children feel safe and secure? We set boundaries. We take our responsibilities seriously and show that their behaviour matters. Easier said than done sometimes, and but so true. And I think one of the most important words you can learn as a parent sometimes is to say no. And I think a lot of times parents spend a lot of their time trying to keep their children happy and give them what they want, whereas actually, is that really what they need? And I think sometimes having boundaries and for someone to say no releases our children to sort of feel secure that actually there is someone there looking out for me. So boundaries are important. Children need to feel loved. And on the back of our card, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's something to do on here. It says, try and spend some time having fun with your child. Have you been doing that this week? I have seen some fantastic examples of people having fun this week with their children. Lisa went and bought a box of cornflour so she could play gloop with her children, and she even bought some ingredients to make biscuits, and that was just a fantastic way to have fun. I saw other people who were playing with their children in the garden. Somebody else, they built an Easter tree with their child, and somebody else did something really crazy with a pen on a plate and then water, and it's something we're going to try. But it's been really, really wonderful to see the fun things that you've been doing with your children during this lockdown. It's a challenging time for all of us, isn't it? And I think it's just really, really important to spend that quality time. My friend Rose, who's the session leader at in Ladbroke Grove at Latimer, she put a post on Facebook today, and I thought this was really, really funny. It said, I'm trying to teach Mal, trying to teach Mal is taking a long time. 3 hours of running after him to get him to do 10 minutes of learning. I can't imagine what that's like, running round after a 5-year-old, getting them to do some learning. And I found myself making a comment, and this really shocked me what I wrote, because I wrote, Rose, let him lead the learning. The best learning takes place through play. And I think that's a real reassurance in this lockdown time, that, you know, playing with our children, whatever it is they like to play with, that makes such a difference to them. It makes them feel safe, it makes them feel secure, and it is what our children need. And hopefully in this coming week with our pop-up Daniel's Dens online, that we'll be able to give you some tips and some ideas of the fun things that you can do with your children to make them feel loved and secure. And I'd just like to ask you, with these parenting postcards, are they being helpful to you? Are they supporting you? And what time would be a really good time for this show to go out? I've no idea this morning why it wouldn't go on live, and it's not going live now on my laptop. But do get in touch with us. And in this coming week and in the weeks ahead, we at Daniel's Den, our team of volunteers, have been thinking, how can we show our love to you as parents? You are the ones with your children 24/7. We're not there to make you a cup of tea. We're not there to say, hi, how you doing? We're not there to say, come on, let's go and do this, that or the other. What practical help can Daniel's Den give to you at this time? Do you need any shopping being done? Do you need a phone call? We are hoping to have some Zoom get-togethers for parents. We want to do this in a safe and secure way. And we would like to invite you to join these Zoom meetings, and it would just be really great, wouldn't it, to see each other's faces and have a time of interaction. I think that's something that I feel love. This afternoon I had a lovely time with some of my family on Zoom, and just seeing their smiling faces and just that banter, it made me feel loved. And it's a little bit like that first postcard, that thing about having the oxygen mask on your face and then putting it on your child, that we must be looking after ourselves. So how can we help you to make you feel loved, to make you feel secure, and for you to pass that on to your child? The last thing that this postcard says, and I know that a lot of people quote this back to me, it says, children spell love Time. Children spell love Time. If you have more than one child, what is it that they love to spend time with you doing? Is it watching a movie? Doing things together? Is it you say to them, wow, you've done something really fantastic. I love the way that you do this, those words of affirmation. Is it giving them a gift? And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, just something wrapped up that they can open and it be a real joy. And my daughter, she's just gone to bed, but she said to me, Mum, when you go to the shop on Wembley High Road and buy me Curl La La for my hair, I feel so loved when you do that for me. And gifts is not really one of her major love languages, but she says that's what makes a difference to her. Acts of service is my love language. It really, really is. And touch. I love it. As I said earlier, when people will do things for me, it just makes me feel really, really loved. And particularly if they do it for me before I even ask, that's amazing. Touch, I love giving hugs and receiving hugs, and it's quite tricky at this time because we're not there with people who might want to have hugs. For my daughter, that's not her love language at all, so I'm finding that quite tricky not to have that hugging. Maybe that's why I've got funny bunny, but hey, we don't know. So there's gifts, there's touch, there's words, there's time, and there's acts of kindness. Time, we seem to have so much time, don't we? And let's just thank God for each of those hours that we have the time with our children, but also the time when they go to bed. I'll just end with a very funny story about my son when he was in, I think, year 5 at primary school, and he came home really puzzled. And he said, Mum, at school today they've been saying that we need to go to bed at 8 o'clock. I said, yeah, that sounds fine. He goes, well, why do you make us go to bed at 7 o'clock? And I suddenly felt really bad that I'd been putting him to bed at 7 when they were recommending 8. But I used to put them to bed at 7. They could read, they could look at books in bed. But I put them to bed at 7 because I knew myself that I needed that time just to breathe and just have a little bit of time to myself. So don't beat yourself up, guys. You are the best parent for your child. Yeah, we may have disappointments, but what do our children really need? It's not about all the expensive things. They need our time, because children spell love Time. So Funny Bunny, he's been rather quiet tonight because he was just so excited seeing the Queen. And but we will see you again tomorrow morning at 10:45, and hopefully we will see your children then. So for now, bye.